All right, let's pull back the curtain on something we all use every single day, but most of us don't really understand: money. We're going to break down how this whole system actually works, and more importantly, what it means for you.
You know the feeling, right? It's that question that's always kind of sitting in the back of your mind. You get paid, you handle your bills, you try to put a little bit away, but that feeling of actually getting ahead, it just seems to be always out of reach. So what's going on?
Well, here's the thing. It feels that way because most of us are playing a game without knowing all the rules. We think earning money is the whole story, but really, that's just chapter 1. If you want to get ahead, you have to understand the system itself.
So let's do that. To win any game, you have to know the rules. Let's start with the official rule book for money, what it's supposed to do.
Okay, so on paper, money has 3 main jobs. First, it's a medium of exchange. You use it to buy stuff. Simple enough. Second, it's a unit of account. It lets you compare the value of things, like a 10-rupee snack versus a 100-rupee meal. And third, it's a store of value. This means you can save it today and spend it tomorrow. But, and this is the big one of these jobs isn't really working the way you think it is.
And that brings us to the first big secret of our economy. This is the piece of the puzzle that honestly changes everything. And it all starts with the place you keep your money, the bank.
You see, money is never just sitting still. It's constantly moving, flowing through the economy. So the really important question is, who's at the center of all this, controlling that flow? The answer is banks. And look, if you think a bank is just a super safe warehouse for your cash, you're missing their real power. Banks aren't warehouses. They're more like the engines of the economy. The way they do this is through a system called fractional reserve banking. Now, when you deposit, let's say, 1 lakh rupees, the bank doesn't just stick it in a vault. The law says it only has to keep a small fraction of that on hand. So what about the rest? Well, it gets lent out to someone else who needs it, for a car, a house, a new business, you name it.
And here is where it gets a little mind-bending. That loan the bank just made, it becomes a new deposit in someone else's account. And their bank can then lend out a chunk of that money. So through this cycle, your first 1 lakh deposit can end up becoming several lakhs of brand new money flowing through the economy. Banks don't just move money around, they actually multiply it.
This creates a really powerful cycle. The more loans banks make, the more money gets pumped into the system. This is what fuels economic growth. It's how businesses expand and big projects get off the ground. But this power, it comes with a major side effect.
And that side effect is the single biggest threat to your savings: inflation. This is that feeling of falling behind, but made real. It's this invisible force that makes your hard-earned money worth less and less every single year.
To put it simply, when the prices of pretty much everything go up, the actual buying power of your money goes down. Remember that third job of money we talked about, being a reliable store of value? Well, this is where it starts to fail. Let's make this super clear. Imagine you go to the store today and your weekly groceries cost you exactly 100 rupees. That 100 rupees buys you a certain amount of stuff.
Okay, now let's fast forward 1 year. Thanks to inflation, that exact same basket of groceries now costs you 105 rupees. The food didn't change. What changed was the value of your money. It just got weaker.
So, why does this happen? Well, sometimes there's just way too much demand for things and not enough to go around. Other times, the cost to make stuff goes up. But a huge driver, as we just saw, is when there's simply too much money being created and chasing the same amount of goods.
So, if this system of creating money has this built-in risk, who manages it? Who's trying to keep inflation under control without crashing the whole economy? Well, that brings us to the master controller, the central bank. In India, that's the Reserve Bank of India, or the RBI.
And the main tool the central bank uses is something called monetary policy. I know, it's a fancy term, but it really just means they're pulling the levers of the economy. They can either hit the accelerator to make things grow faster, or they can slam on the brakes to cool things down.
And they do this in 2 main ways. When they want to speed up the economy, they use expansionary policy. They lower interest rates, which makes it cheaper for everyone to borrow money. That encourages spending and investment, and the economy grows. But when they need to slow things down to fight inflation, they use contractionary policy. They raise interest rates, making loans more expensive. This discourages spending, which helps stop prices from rising too fast. It is a constant, delicate balancing act. Okay, so we've looked at how banks create money, how inflation eats away at its value, and how central banks try to manage the whole thing. But let's bring this all back to the most important question: what does any of this mean for you?
Because you're not just watching from the sidelines. Every single time you take out a loan, deposit money, or even just go buy groceries, you are an active part of this huge, complex system. You're a gear in the machine.
So, let's just recap the big forces that are shaping your financial life. You've got banks, which are always creating new money by lending. You've got the central bank trying to control that flow of money. And all the while, you've got inflation working against you, trying to reduce its value. This is the world your money actually lives in.
And this, right here, is the key takeaway from all of this. Earning money is only half the battle. If you don't get how it moves, how it's made, and how it loses value, you'll always feel like you're playing catch-up. Understanding the system is the absolute first step to taking control of your financial future.
We've really only scratched the surface today. In our next explainer, we are going deep into inflation, the silent killer of wealth. We'll break down exactly how it works and, more importantly, what you can actually do about it. So make sure you subscribe. You are not going to want to miss it.